The snow lashed against my face like 1,000 tiny knives as I trudged through the Wyoming blizzard, my boots sinking deep into the drifts. It was November 1887, and out here, 40 miles from the nearest speck of civilization in Laramie, man learned quick that nature didn't give a damn about his plans. I'd been out all day, rounding up strays that the wind had scattered like leaves, my body numb from the cold that seeped through my wool coat. But as I crested the hill toward my cabin, a prickling unease crawled up my spine. Smoke rose from the chimney smoke I hadn't lit. Light flickered in the window, warm and inviting, but to me, it screamed danger. Outlaws. Drifters? In this territory, uninvited guests meant trouble. The kind that ended with lead. I drew my Colt from its holster, the metal icy against my palm, and approached slow, heart thumping like a war drum. Kicking the door open, I leveled the gun into the dim room. "Come out, or I'll fill you with holes." The figure by the fire didn't jump. She turned slowly, her silhouette framed by the flames, and when the light hit her face, the world tilted. Raven hair cascaded down her back, green eyes wide but steady eyes I'd mourned for 10 long years. My dead wife's eyes. But this wasn't Amelia. This woman was younger, fiercer, with a jaw set like she dared the world to break her. "Lower the gun, Caleb," she said, voice soft but unyielding. Laced with that Boston polish Amelia had carried, "It's me, Lydia. Your sister-in-law, Lydia. Amelia's little sister. The one she'd written about in those letters. The Spitfire who'd scandalized their high society family with her wild ideas." I holstered the Colt, but my hands shook not from cold. "What in God's name are you doing here? How'd you find this godforsaken place?" She set down the tin cup she'd been holding, steam rising from what smelled like my coffee. Amelia's letters. She described it all, the endless skies, the quiet strength of this life. I needed to escape Boston. The expectations, the arranged marriages. I came looking for something real. Real. The word twisted in my gut. 10 years I'd buried my desires, my heart, everything that made me feel alive. Right alongside Amelia, in that frozen grave out back. Now here was her kin stirring ashes I thought were cold forever. Guilt crashed over me like a wave. How could I look at her and feel this pull, this forbidden heat? She was family, blood to the woman I'd loved and lost. But in the firelight, her lips parted slightly, and I felt a spark ignite. Dangerous and wrong. "Sit," she said, gesturing to the chair, Amelia's chair. "You're half frozen." I did. Stripping off my wet coat, the warmth seeping in, but doing nothing for the storm inside. That night, as the blizzard howled, memories flooded back. Amelia had blown into my life like a summer gale. A Boston heiress, all silk and grace. She'd stepped off the train in Laramie with her pearl necklace and that defiant smile, turning every cowboy's head. I'd been a rough rancher, scarred from Indian skirmishes and cattle drives, hands calloused from rope and rain. At the harvest dance, her hand on my arm had felt like fate. "You move like you own the land," she'd said, eyes sparkling. "I do," I'd replied gruffly, "but it owns me more." Her laugh had been music, pure and light. Against all odds, she'd married me, trading ballrooms for our log cabin, chandeliers for lantern glow. For 3 blissful years, she'd made this harsh world soft humming over the stove. Riding beside me through the prairies, her head on my chest under starlit skies, "This is freedom," she'd whisper, fingers tracing my scars. "With you, Caleb, it's home." Then the winter of '77 struck, a beast of white death. Blizzards buried us for weeks, the cold claiming everything. Amelia fell ill, her cough turning bloody, her fever burning bright. I'd fought through snowdrifts to fetch help, but it was too late. She died in my arms, whispering, "Live for us both." I dug her grave with blistered hands, the earth unyielding as my grief. 10 years of solitude followed. I worked the ranch alone, conversations limited to my horse and the wind. Desire buried deep where it couldn't hurt. Until now, Lydia watched me across the room, wrapped in a blanket. "You look like her description strong. Silent. But haunted. Haunted's right, I muttered. You shouldn't be here. It's no place for a lady. I'm no lady anymore, she said, a edge to her voice. Boston tried to mold me, but I broke free. Like Amelia did. Her words hung, charged. I felt the pull again, that buried desire flickering. Guilt screamed no, but my eyes lingered on the curve of her neck, the way the fire danced on her skin. What kind of man was I? Morning came gray and still, the storm spent. I rose early, chopping wood to shake off the night. Lydia emerged, bundled in Amelia's old shawl dam. It fit her like a ghost. Let me help, she insisted. You'll splinter those soft hands. Try me. We worked side by side, her determination sparking something in me. She was clumsy at first, axe slipping, but she laughed it off, green eyes flashing. See? I'm learning. As days turned to weeks, she stayed storm damage blocked the trails, she claimed, but I sensed more. She adapted, burning biscuits at first, but improving, her city grace turning rugged. I'd teach her to saddle a horse. My hands on hers, the touch lingering too long. Like this, I'd say, voice rough. Her falls became rides, her whoops of triumph echoing across the plains. One afternoon, as we checked fences, a sudden gust knocked her hat off, raven hair whipping wild. She looked at me, breathless. This is what she meant alive. My heart twisted. Alive. I hadn't felt that since Amelia. But Lydia was different, fiercer, challenging me in ways Amelia never had. Desire stirred, buried no more, but guilt clawed back. Society would call it sin, loving your wife's sister, taboo in any world. Word reached Laramie via old Jeb Harlan, my distant cousin and the town blacksmith who rode out with supplies. Folks are whispering, Caleb, say you've got a woman up here, kin to Amelia. Preachers calling it unseemly. Let him whisper, I growled. Ain't there concern, Jeb? Eyed Lydia, mending tack. She's a fighter, all right? But watch for Vance Cutler. He's got eyes on your land, spreading lies about old debts. Vance, my former trail partner, a weasel who'd cheated me years back. He'd always coveted this spread, and now, with Lydia here, it felt like ammunition. That evening, by the fire, Lydia and I shared stew. Her cooking had turned decent, flavors reminding me of Amelia's, but with a spicy kick her own. Why stay isolated? She asked. Amelia wrote of your strength, but also your loneliness. Loneliness is safe, I said. No more loss. She leaned closer, eyes searching. But is it living? She wanted more for you. Her hand brushed mine, intentional. Heat surged, desire uncoiling like a snake. I pulled away. Can't. You're her blood. Hurt flashed, but she nodded. The push-pull began, moments of closeness shattered by my retreat. Danger struck at dawn. Rustlers raided the herd, shadows slinking through fog. I grabbed my rifle, Lydia snatching Amelia's shotgun. Stay inside. No, she defied. We rode out, bullets zipping. I spotted their boss, Blackjack Reno, a notorious gunslinger with a bounty on his head. He charged, gun blazing in a rocky gulch. This ranch is mine now, Harlan. I faced him down, dust kicking up. Shots rang haze grazed my shoulder, blood hot. I fired back quick and true, dropping him in the dirt. Lydia's shotgun boomed, scattering the rest. She rode up, face ashen, but proud. You're hurt. Back home, she cleaned the wound, fingers tracing my skin. Brave fool, she murmured, lips close. Desire flared her touch, her scent. I cupped her face, almost kissing her. But Amelia's locket on the mantel gleamed, accusation in silver. I shoved away. Damn it, Lydia, this ain't right. Tears welled. Why fight it? She's gone. The internal war raged, want pulling, guilt pushing. Weeks passed, bonds deepening through trials. A rock slide on a supply run buried me half under. Lydia dug me free, her hands bloody, forging unbreakable trust. I won't lose you, she vowed. Societal whispers grew, Jeb reported, Vance, stirring a mob. Claiming my land was cursed by immoral goings-on. Hidden notes in Amelia's chest revealed Vance's plot, forged deeds to steal everything. Night brought the raid torches flaring, Vance leading. Burn him out. That harlot's bewitched him. I stepped onto the porch, rifle cocked, Lydia beside me with fire in her eyes. Leave or die. Chaos erupted, guns echoing in the canyon. I dueled Vance under moonlight, revolvers barking. His shot nicked my leg. Mine felled him, exposing his schemes. The mob fled, but wounds ran deep. Lydia tended me, urging, choose life. Caleb with me, haunted by Amelia's memory, I pushed her away. Go back to Boston. This ends. Heartbroken, she left at dawn. Wagon wheels fading toward Laramie. Regret nod. 2 days of hell seeing her everywhere, smelling roses on the pillows. On the third, I saddled up, riding hard through treacherous paths at the station. She stood on the platform, ticket in hand, eyes lost. The train whistled. Lydia. I called, dismounting. She turned, hope flickering. Caleb, don't go. I was wrong. Buried everything too long. She stepped close. Amelia would want this us alive. But danger wasn't done. Vance's remnants ambushed, guns drawn in the crowd. I shoved Lydia behind, facing 3 in a whirlwind shootout. Bullets flew. I dropped 2, the third grazing my arm before Jeb's arrival turned the tide. Wounded, I pulled Lydia close. I love you. Forbidden or not. She kissed me, fire erupting. Take me home. We rode back, shadows lengthening. Desire unburied at last. But that night, as storm clouds gathered, Lydia slipped into my bed, her body warm against mine. Caleb, she begged, voice trembling with need. Make me yours. Guilt flickered one last time, then desire won. We crossed the line, bodies entwining in passion long denied. In her arms I found healing. Love reborn from ashes, society whispered. But we built our life strong, resilient, defying norms. In Wyoming's wild heart, we thrived, a testament to love's unyielding fire.